Welcome to Turning Hard Times into Good Times. I'm your host, Jay Taylor, and we're really pleased to have Chen Lin with me today to discuss the trials from NervGen's NVG-291 drug that was being tested for reestablishment of connectivity and the ability for people that have had spinal cord injuries to walk again, to do things again, to live normal lives. And this is the company that is, I think, very, very promising, but obviously the market wasn't entirely pleased with the results of this initial studies that were announced this last Monday. The stock had run up to around $7, I think, around $7 from $3 in a few days up, leading up to this announcement, but then crashed thereafter. And we want to talk to Chen about this because Chen is really on top of it. It's one of his favorite biotech stocks, and as you know, Chen has had a very good track record, has had a lot of success in this sector. So, Chen, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Jay. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So fill us in. My understanding, Chen, is that this test showed really established beyond a reasonable doubt, well, statistically significant connectivity between the brain and the hands. That is, of spinal cord injured people. There were only 10 people in the sample, 10 people in the placebos, and 10 people that received the drug. NVG-291 is the name of the drug. And this had been effective in mice. It was established that this drug actually helped mice to reconnect the nerves so that the signals could be sent from the brain to the mice. So now it's being tried in humans, and for sure there's...
First time. Yes, first time.
The first time. So they have established in humans connectivity between the brain and the hands. Statistically, though, they did not, or they failed, at least at this stage, to establish connectivity between the brain and the legs. Do I have that right?
Right. The data is very interesting. Okay, this is the first time in human history that we have electrical signal, and not just hand movement or something. They physically detect electrical signal from the brain to the hand. That's amazing.
Yeah, they measure it. They're able to statistically measure it, so they have the proof of that.
To give them the credit, the management say in the past year has been they want to see the first primary endpoint, the connectivity, and they reach, and then they want to see some functional improvement, and they reach that. It's not as clear as this because the hand, you take a measure, your sensation, you grab the strength. There are many factors, but they are very promising trend on the functionality as well.
All right. So the market didn't like it. Where does the company go from here?
Right. Well, let me explain a little bit why market didn't like it. Okay. So there are people are very, the talk of the town for the past year was the parallel people can walk now. Everybody was focusing on the leg. The leg was inconclusive. Okay. It's not working. There were 2 persons who can now, very, very difficult. You can see the clay shape video. Very, very difficult to move his 1 foot, just move a little bit. Very, very difficult. He had to exercise for like almost a month in order to enroll in the trial. You understand? Because the requirement to enroll is that you can lift one of your foot. You have to be able to do that. And then he tried very, very hard to lift one of his foot. And he was able to enroll the trial, and now he can walk. Right? And then it turned out he's not the only one. There's a 2 person that can walk.
Oh.
Both are in the drug group. Very, very important.
So 2 of the 10 have proven that they can walk as a result of taking the drug group.
Right, in the leg. But also, the problem was that there was, in the placebo group, there's 1 person also has improved, not as dramatic as this, but he or she has an improvement about 1,020%.
Interesting.
That destroyed the whole data. Because only 10 and then 10, right? You have 2 and then 1, and suddenly the data become crowded. We were just chatting if that person is in the drug group will have success in the drug. But it could, because he or she can walk a little bit, and then he has a great improvement. Maybe the initial test, he or she was sick, or fall down, or anything can happen. That's result, just one person that result in this kind of discrepancy. And then, biotech has been bear market for 4 or 5 years. Okay. So this, has been a problem. People want to see clear data. And they didn't see it. They sell first, ask question later. But on the other hand, and I look back, I've been reading the articles for, Dr. Jerry Silver, the inventor. Unfortunately, he already passed away. He passed away a few months ago. Had he been with us, he may be able to pick up very, very fast. So he passed on the technology to this NervGen, right? I saw his paper. He measured was the front limb of the mouse for some reason. They all are the front limb. The mouse, he did the experiment. Dr. Jerry Silver. Yes, on the measurement is on the front limb.
Just on the front limbs.
Yeah. Front limb is equivalent to the hand.
Yes, they didn't. So they didn't measure the back limbs.
So I asked the management. They still haven't sent me an answer. But I can see the article, the picture. You see the video. They focus on the front limb.
Yes.
So there's a theory because the leg is a bit longer, to get. May take longer time. Maybe instead of 4 months, 3 months, may take 6 months to be clear picture. It's a possibility. Maybe a little bit higher dose or
higher dosage.
It's very safe. This drug is very safe.
Yes, but, that's right.
This is for discussion with the FDA. I'm not qualified to discuss. Okay. No. But I've just noticed that the mouse test also was on the front limb, and then they have tremendous, spectacular success on the hand. It's ever happened in the human history that you can have electrical signal and the functional improvement on the hand. So my understanding, they're going to file for accelerated approval.
Okay. So they're going to apply for accelerated approval.
They'll talk to the FDA, then see if they can get approved on this data.
And the fact is that it's safe. I think I think there was some irritation around the injection. That's all. There was nothing. Of course, it's still a small sample, 10, but so far so good. And so I think the market reacted to expectations that were unrealistic, perhaps. Huh?
They were hoping for a home run. People are hoping for a home run, and then you can see people were buying on the way up. They're hearing something great or happen, the higher volume and going over and they sold. Those people sold. That's fine. I heard there's also people are shorting, and I can have a friend to see the shorts are actually trying to come in every day. They want to short this. In biotech, because the bear market is a little bit similar to the mining 2 years ago. So if you have a great result, people short on you. They just don't give you a break. Okay, so they know you're going to eventually you need to raise money, and then they want to cover it on the raise. So that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. Well,
but however, if they can talk to FDA give them a pathway for approval, that's a very, very different, very different question, very, very different valuation, and then shorts will get squeezed.
And then if they're able to get that sort of fast track approval, they should be able to raise money efficiently, Chen, I would think, to accelerate the tests. And
they will do follow up. I mean, I'm friends with some of the patients, and they're anxious. They believe all the people on the trial believe that the drug works. By the way, because they see amazing improvement. People break into tears. It's their first time ever it's happened to their life. And you have friends who got a spinal cord injury. They have to level off all their house. We will be on the wheelchair for the rest of their lives. And then people can start walking. Can you believe that? It's happening. And then the hand signal is very, very clear. You can grab a bottle, right? You can at least feed yourself, and that's amazing. Just on the hand, it can be approved. Okay, it seems to be the hand is the easier target. Yeah. So even FDA said you need to do more trial, they probably will focus on hand now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the hand itself can be approved. And if they got approved, they can work on the leg. We can see how right, what other things, longer dose and, longer duration. And then, and also there's a lot of desperate people out there. They couldn't qualify to the trial. They actually went to China and synthesized the same peptide and then they inject themselves. That's a serious problem for the FDA to consider. If they don't approve this, people will do it themselves.
They'll go to China.
Well, it's illegal. I don't think the company appreciate I say that. But the people are doing that. You can see it on the internet. So I mean, it's breaking the company's patent, breaking all these, but they're desperate. Can companies sue them for this? I don't know.
So Chen, what's the theory then? Why the one person in the placebo group was able to improve so dramatically? Not as well, you say, as the two that improved in the drug group.
They have significant improvement. It could be that day he doing the initial test, he was sick. Could he fall down? Right. So initial test and then the later 4 months follow-up test has some big difference.
So maybe the injury wasn't as bad as at first.
Right. There's only one person. That's actually destroyed the data. Okay, yeah. But also one thing they didn't see a clear connectivity to the leg.
Well, they did not see.
They did not see clear
in
connectivity.
The placebo.
Right. Versus placebo. So that's why the people crowded up. But I want to know those people who can walk now. Yeah. What are their electric signal? I'm trying to talk to the management. I send out email, but they're too busy. There are a lot of things I understand, but I'm not a doctor, but then just a normal person. All these came to my mind.
Sure.
But it seems to be a lot of interesting things, right? And then we talk about bladder. Bladder function also very, very important.
Yes.
And bladder is from the brain, in between brain to your leg.
Right.
And then if can they improve the bladder function, which is nice, very nice. Otherwise, you cannot control your urinate, right? So, that's the data we're looking forward to see. We are asking the management to release. So maybe they will come out soon. We'll see how the bladder data looks.
Okay. Like. You're expecting that, Chen?
I put it this way. There's a lot of people asking about this and the management are working, they really frantically because some are my, I can see on the timestamp on how late they work. I know they're working very, very hard on this.
Mm-hmm. Chen, I think it's noteworthy also that the people in this study had to have their injuries at least 1 year.
Exactly. Right? It has to be over
because
1 year.
They say the first 3 to 6 months is when you can see some improvement after spinal cord injuries. Exactly. But after 1 year, it plateaus and there's hardly any improvement. Yeah. And so they took the most difficult cases in this case.
Exactly. Those are over 1 year.
So if
I have my nerve injured on my hand, right? So, I went through physical therapy. I went through operations. It improved first few months. And then I had it like 20 years ago. After a year, it's the same. I still missing some sensation. Mm-hmm. But it's the same. It stayed there for 20 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what I'm saying? For those spinal cord injury, they are on the wheelchair after the first year. This is a truly miracle. Okay, this is a truly miracle.
And the economics, I think I've heard that it costs something like for every spinal cord injury, it like costs $10 million to keep them, alive, keep them.
Right. I think it's like a million, $500,000 to $1 million a year per person is the fair estimate, right? So, and then you also think about emotional trauma for the family, for the person.
Oh, right? Yes. Those are non-quantifiable costs.
Right. And then there's $500,000 at least 500,000 those injured people out there. So it's a huge market. So it's just money, but we don't work for money. I was just talking to one of the biggest hedge fund. We talked to them about this idea. They are very interested. They are learning now. I say that at the end, my thought was, this is a big market. We're talking a potential $1 billion market, but it's not just for money, because we are doing this to improve human life. For the human race. And then we should do that. We should make this successful.
But Chen, it's huge for SCI, for spinal cord injury. The market is huge, but there's potential because proof of concept here and connectivity for other diseases as well. That's down the road.
That's down the road. They have so many other. They can stroke, right? Parkinson's, MS, potential Alzheimer. These are nerve related. They can all try. They can all try that.
Right.
They have another drug. I mean, they're in the pipeline, slightly different formulation. They're working on that, but that's early stage.
Right.
I'm just very sorry that the Dr. Jerry Silver, who invented this, he passed away a few months ago. He couldn't live to see what happened. He will be very pleased. I'm sure he will be very pleased to see what's happening. This is the first time ever in human history, even though the stock price doesn't reflect, but we all know it works.
Yeah, well, that's the proof of concept is there. And so if they get approval from the FDA for acceleration, I mean, there's no reason to sell this stock now. Huh? I mean,
I cannot, I'm not here to give financial advice, but I think, this is a huge step. They are too much pessimistic in the biotech. Just like the mining company 2 years ago, right? Remember, Sarah, the Pasco trading at a few cents, and people are just so they're going to go bankrupt. So one by one, but there are some great projects there. They will improve our human life tremendously, and the worst investing, the worst follow up. So I'm very excited about that. I think, it depends on your financial situation. I think there will be significant news will come out, I think, in the next week. I cannot promise for that management. You have to talk to management, but I believe there will be significant news coming in the coming weeks.
Okay, well, certainly if you're able to hang on, it might it would seem to be very promising, that's for sure. And it's... I want to thank you, Chen, for spending time with us again to explain this story. And we'll keep up to date with you and the company. And hopefully there'll be some really good news coming out, more good news. I think this is really good news, but a lot more to look forward to here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay,
for all of that. Well, folks, keep your eyes on your Substack inbox, because there's a lot of things coming on. I'm going to be talking to Kirsten Brower, I think, next week, about her company. Also, a new recommendation that is only for paid subscribers that's going out this week. And that's one I have to thank Chen for as well. He brought it to my attention. I won't mention the name now because this is going out to everyone. If you'd like to know about that company, you can sign up for my newsletter. And there's other things going on too. I just talked to another company right now. I will tell you about that very soon. But there's a lot going on, so keep your eyes open for on your Substack emails that come forward to you. Until then, goodbye and God's blessings to you.